All right, we are back with video number 3 of our Excel task assignment, and this video is just going to focus on conditional formatting. And I realized in my previous videos the Excel sheet was a little far or zoomed out, so I apologize for that. And I've gone ahead and zoomed in a little more closer for this video, and we'll be sure to do for the last one as well. Conditional formatting was, I think, probably my most favorite topic to go over because like with the charts, it really helps to visualize and make key information stand out. So for an instructor who is trying to get a handle on maybe areas of concern or students that are they're on the bubble of either getting a C or a D or a D and F, conditional formatting can really bring those alive. And I like it much better in Excel than how it can be done in the Blackboard gradebook. It's not, again, very apparent, and it can just look a little messy. So I really liked some of the things that we were talking about here with conditional formatting and how to make those particular areas jump out. So first I'm going to use the big grade sheet, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop in some zeros for these blank cells here. And the one thing I want to show is with visual assignments. Maybe I want to do particular, condition formatting for assignment number 1, and I want to see any score that is less than, say, a 12. And I can change the different colors of my fill, so I can just do text, a border, light red fill. You can go custom with your colors too, so however you prefer. I'm just going to go with my light red. Ooh, hold on, let's try that again. Oh, you know why? Because I didn't have any that are less than 12. Well, let's go back then to 15. That was my mistake. So if I put 15, I can see, okay, I got one red highlight. So, ooh, student J didn't do so great on assignment number 1. Something to be a little maybe concerned about. And I could go ahead and do that, with the different lecture quizzes. Same thing. Maybe I want to see students that are, busting out that, B or higher. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with a green. Great. So lecture 5 quiz, all the students showed good scores with that particular quiz. And then there are additional, besides just doing colors, I love how there's just different icons, shapes, kind of, green means go, red means whoa, yellow, so flags. There's just a lot of different ways that you can visualize this data, depending on how you have the different conditioning set up. So you could go ahead and, you could do that for, if you really want to get crazy. And first I'm going to remove, so I'm going to clear my rules from all the sheets. So say let's get crazy with all of these data sets here and go into my icons. And you really can see, just from these different indicators, a lot of information. So I like showing that. And then one of the things that I explored a little bit more was, can I put certain rules on my percents? Maybe I want to see if a student is at risk for failing. And yeah, I can come over and I can look at the numbers, but if I'm dealing with a lot, 50, 70, 100 plus students, color will jump out to me a little bit more than just the percentage. So say for all of this information here, I want to put a specific rule. So I'm going to come into my conditional formatting, and I'm going to go to new rule, and I'm going to have a couple different types, and I'm not familiar with all of these, but the one that I did play around with the most was this format only cells that contain, and then I have some parameters. So say I want to see cells, and I'm going to have to put the numbers in, not as the full percent, but as a decimal. So between, 0.7 and my 100. And then I come in here, so these are students that have C's or higher. And I'm going to hit my OK. So a fill of green will show up in all the cells in which I applied the rule. So I can just double check, make sure that this rule did work. And so far, so good. So say, well, I want to have some color for the students that maybe are in that danger zone. So I'll come in again, my conditional formatting, new rule, go back there, and maybe I'm just looking for between 0 and let's say that 0.69. Format, let's do a yellow because yellow will stand out pretty good. So there we have another way that we can do some conditional formatting. And if I say the student E and its proctored assessment got, say they got 120. Okay, good. That will move up the student's total points, which will help then move their grade up, which therefore then changes the color. So just two different ways to use conditional formatting in this kind of case. So that concludes the third video on conditional formatting. And in the last video, I am going to touch on those what if scenarios and using goals.